Good evening, everybody. It's Sunday, July 23rd at 4 p.m. Eastern, Walt Disney World time. Welcome to DisneyWays.com on Facebook Live. We are bringing you Disney dreams, hints, secrets, and more from the heart of the magic. I am your host and founder of DisneyWays.com, born, raised, and still living in Orlando, Florida, Krista Joy. And tonight, we have information on a free Disney vacation being given away by BigEarsAdventures.com. We've got a new segment, Disney Happenings with JR, and a very special in-person interview tonight with author and former cast member Dean Gaschler. I think you saw his beautiful wife behind me. I'm here in their home. How lucky am I tonight? We are going to have so much fun. Dean is a former Grand Marshal coordinator at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom for 14 years. So you guys, so much fun stuff to share tonight. I see some beautiful faces coming in. Hi, Megan. Hi, Jeff. Appreciate you guys being here. If y'all would hit the share button for me, I would so appreciate it. We're going to dive right in so we can get to Dean's interview. But starting off tonight, I wanted to talk to you about our new segment we're calling Disney Happenings with JR. And of course, JR is our little special friend. He's sending me secret emails from Disney World and sending me news with the help of his mama. So, starting off, Mission Space at Epcot has been a must-do for guests since it opened in 2003. Allowing space adventurers to become navigators, pilots, commanders, or engineers on a thrilling trip to Mars. And it was announced at D23 Expo in just a few weeks we will be able to enjoy new adventures at Mission Space, an updated orange mission, and a brand new green mission. Of course, if you're experienced with this ride, orange is the more intense training experience, while green is the less intense. And the updated orange mission will make an even more visually stunning trip to Mars, while the all-new green adventure will allow guests to blast off for an orbital adventure around planet Earth. So they're shaking it up and changing it a little bit. That's exciting. Terry Miller's here from www.hints.com. Hi, Terry. You guys, if you haven't already, you need to check out Terry's awesome website, www.hints.com. She's got so many wonderful Disney articles, news, information. Be sure to check out her website. I love you, Terry. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. I'm shaking. I'm so excited about tonight's show. This is going to be so fun. So while we're at it, I want to ask you, if you would for me, hit the share button, share the video, let everybody know you're getting your Disney news from DisneyWays.com on Facebook Live. Next up from JR, we've got Magic Shots. So with Magic Shots from Disney PhotoPass service, you can transform your photos into unique keepsakes as you recreate a favorite movie moment. Enjoy your vacation with a Disney character or react to a fun surprise. All you need is a little imagination and a PhotoPass photographer. So obviously this is available on Disney property. And whether you want to take numerous magic shots or just a favorite, there's a new way to locate these photo opportunities. PhotoPass now has one place where you can discover with magic shots are currently available within reach of the 4 theme parks at Walt Disney World Resort. To check it out, you just head over to the Disney PhotoPass Service Facebook page and navigate to the Photos tab and then to the albums. There's now a new photo album showing each park's current magic shot offerings and where they can typically be found. How cool is that? So they've made it super easy to find, and you can go make this part of your trip, make this part of your adventure to seek these out and take part in this. So the information will be continuously updated as magic shot offerings adjust and expand, especially around festivals and holidays. So be sure to check it out right before you visit. Magic Shots are included as part of an Active Memory Maker entitlement. They can also be purchased individually at mydisneyphotopass.com. Please note that Magic Shot offerings are subject to change and photographer availability. Next up, another exciting piece of news I know you guys have been waiting for. Our friends at Big Ears Adventures are celebrating a 5-year anniversary by giving away a free, that's right, free Disney vacation to Disney World. It's valued at $4,800. And here is the news and the details. This is from BigEarsAdventures.com. They said, we are celebrating our 5-year anniversary of Big Ears Adventures Travel Agency by giving back to a deserving family. Those of us who get to visit Walt Disney World are fortunate we get to go, but there are lots of deserving people who will never be able to afford the trip, and this is where you come in. 5 nights, 6-day trip to Walt Disney World is going to be awarded to somebody who is nominated by you. What makes them deserving? Well, you tell us. So what you need to do is just go to DisneyWays.com. I've got the link up there for you with the official rules to this contest, and then also a link to the submission form over on Big Ears Adventures. So I hope that you guys will submit tons and tons of deserving families. I know a lot of people that would love to win this fantastic trip to Disney. So go ahead, go to DisneyWays.com after the broadcast, get the link that's over on Big Ears Adventures. And bonus, us here, we're at DisneyWays.com, we're going to donate a $25 gift card as well to the deserving family that wins this vacation. So get over there, start typing. I know Dean could make some incredible submissions for that contest more than likely. We'll get to some of those. But if you would just hit the share button for me. I know I say it a lot, but it's really important. Please hit the share button for me. Let everybody know that you are watching your Disney news with us here tonight. I'm so thrilled to have you all join us. This is the meaty part that I've been looking forward to. So our guest today is the author of I Led the Parade, Main Street Memories, and now his new book, Main Street Memories, How I Made Dreams Come True at Walt Disney World as the Magic Kingdom's Grand Marshal Coordinator. He was the Grand Marshal Coordinator at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom for over 14 years, selecting guests for special roles like leading the Main Street Parade. Now retired, he enjoys staying in contact with people whose lives he's touched at Disney World and documenting their stories. I am so honored and privileged tonight to bring you the amazing, fantastic Dean Gaschler. Here he is right across the table from me. I'm going to put the camera on him. Hi, Dean.
Hello, everyone.
Thanks for being here with us. And this is Dean's beautiful wife, Linda. Hi.
Yes, it is.
So this is only our second live Facebook interview that we've done on the show. We're so honored to have you as one of our very first
thank you.
guests.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here with you. Thank you so much.
So show everybody your beautiful books. You got them
Okay.
down there in front of you. Show them what they look
Okay.
like.
Book one was I Led the Parade, Main Street Memories. And this is stories of the amazing people I had the privilege to meet and host as my Grand Marshals. And after I wrote this book, I said, never again. And be careful what you say. So, anyway, after I had written the book, I had thought about all the amazing stories that other guests and cast members might have and be wanting to share, and hence book two. I have some of my own personal stories in it, but I interviewed guests and friends that I'd made along the way at Walt Disney World, and also other cast members. So I thought, well, if I had stories, other people have got some amazing, truly amazing stories of, just once again, the people I was privileged to meet. And as my Grand Marshal, as being Grand Marshal Coordinator, of course, I had many celebrities. This is not about the celebrities, the Super Bowl heroes and Olympic heroes what we call high-profile guests at Walt Disney World, but it's more about what I call everyday heroes, normal day guests, and it's the story of what happened to them before they got to us, to Disney, and why I made such an effort to try to make their time truly special as the Grand Marshal of the parade, and my unique perspective of the parade.
So unique. In fact, Dean was telling me your job no longer exists.
Well, that's my understanding. It's been a little over 5 years that I retired, and it's my understanding that there was no one that officially has the Grand Marshal Coordinator position, that it's kind of, there's a group of people who are familiar with the process and trained to do so, but to my knowledge, there's not an official person with the position of the Grand Marshal position, Grand Marshal Coordinator position, and I replaced the only other person that I'm ever aware of at Disney that had the position. So I'm one of two people on the planet that ever had that position, ever.
So. And the other thing I find so interesting is you started in the Harmony Barbershop.
I started as a barber at Disney, yes. I was there for 7 years, and the gentleman, Ray Late was his name, came into, he was one of my haircut customers. And I teased him every day that every time that I saw him or would cut his hair, I would say, Ray, you know, you've got the only job in the Magic Kingdom I'd leave the barbershop for. And I loved the barbershop. It was a great place. It was the home of the Main Street, the world famous Dapper Dans, the barbershop quartet, and it was just, you just never knew what was going to happen each and every day. And I loved it there. And so be careful what you wish for,
Yes.
because
Be careful what you say out loud.
exactly,
You
exactly.
just never know.
But
And going back to your career as the Grand Marshal, now I know you had friends and family members tell you for years that you should tell these stories. Do you remember the moment you actually decided to do it?
I think so. I was visiting with a good friend of mine, and I have 5 grandchildren in Colorado. They all live in Colorado, and you know, with the distance, I don't get to see them very often. But I said to my friend, he said, "Come on, Dean, you got to tell these." I would share these stories with people. You got to share them with everybody. And I said, you know, my grandkids don't really. I want to. If you write the book, so my grandkids would know who I am. And the second book, I dedicated the first book to my wife, and the second book I dedicated to my grandkids.
Aww.
So they would know who their granddad. Get a little emotional about it, but so they would know who I was and what I did, and so everything. Lee Cockrell, he wrote the foreword for my first book, retired executive vice president at Disney, and he said there's 3 ways to leave a legacy. He said you have a baby, you plant a tree, or you write a book. Well, I think we're way beyond the age of where we plant trees, of course.
That's the only one you're leaving off. Okay, we'll leave that one off. No
We'll leave that off.
Okay.
So the other one was, but so and I was telling him, I said, I really want my grandkids to know who they are. And if we have a couple of minutes, I'd like to share. I have one story that I already told you a little bit about that I really want to share. Do we have a couple of minutes?
Absolutely, all the time you'd like.
Okay,
Not on the
okay.
limit. Yeah.
One of the things I'd also like to share, the Grand Marshal, doing the Grand Marshals gets overshadowed a lot by something that I feel is very, very important, that I also had the privilege of doing, and that was for the last 2.5 to 3 years or so that I had my position. I also selected the honorary veteran of the day, the man or woman that military that would do the flag retreat ceremony. And to me, I always want to mention that because that's and one of the stories I love to tell is about a veteran. And I had him as the Grand Marshal, but I do always want to. I love to mention the fact that I also the veterans in the flag retreat ceremony every afternoon. This gentleman, his name was Albert, and he was in the park. We were celebrating his 80th birthday, and he sent me a note, and it said, "Dear Dean, after such a memorable birthday over 2 weeks ago, I have not settled down yet. And as a result, I am quite late in sending you and your staff the honors bestowed upon me during my 80th birthday. As I told my daughter," now this is the sentence that really gets me, "as I told my daughter, my freedom from a prisoner of war was the #1 special day in my life. The parade at the Magic Kingdom was the next." And for that to be in the same sentence just always got to me. I'm very much appreciated the courtesy and respect shown to me and my family during this celebration. I'd say Disney World is most fortunate to be blessed with your talent and enthusiasm, including the graciousness of your staff. Sincerely, Albert. And Albert, 80 years old, he had a sense of humor. P.S. Dean, if you ever get tired of that job, you can always head for Hollywood. So So not coming, but he put that in the same sentence. That
I love it.
Isn't that crazy? And
We have some friends talking to you. Let's see who's here. Susan Travis says hello, Dean
oh,
and Linda.
Susan, I married Susan.
Yeah.
Well, her and Matt got married, and I was the officiant at their
she's
wedding.
watching ya.
She's a lovely. Congratulations on the upcoming little youngster on the way in October.
Oh,
Thanks,
yay!
Susan.
Congratulations. And Rose
Manarino.
she says, Magic Maker, your stories with your Pittsburgh guests are the most magical.
Yep.
Linda Haas says, love you, Dean, and you're giving her goosebumps with your stories.
Oh, well, great. Well, I got one more from book number 1, and it's the story of a little 5-year-old girl I met. Her name is Alex, and I met Alex. Okay, now listen to this. She's 5 years old, and I met Alex and her mother-to-be, Sherry. Mother-to-be. Well, Alex was a foster child of Sherry's, and Sherry and her husband were trying to adopt Alex, and they were tied up in miles of red tape, and so little Alex was my grand marshal, and as Sherry and I were helping her from her wheelchair into the vehicle, she sat down, and Sherry said to Alex, tell Mr. Dean what you're going to do on Thursday. And she said, I'm going to have an operation. And she said, tell Dean what you're going to do after you have your operation. And she says, I'm going to walk. And she was so excited to be the Grand Marshal of the parade and waved and was having a great time. And months later, I got a note from Sherry that the adoption had gone through, and that her and her husband had adopted Alex. And she said, she always talks about you, Dean, because every night when she goes to bed, we say our prayers, and then she gets to watch her the video of her being the Grand Marshal of the parade. And she said, the other night as I was turning out the light for her, she said, Mom, I'm going to go back to the Magic Kingdom, and I'm going to show Dean that I can walk. And the doctors weren't 100% sure she was going to be able to walk even after the surgery. Months later after that, I'm near City Hall one day, and one of the girls comes running out of City Hall. Dean, you have guests looking for you. And it was just like someone had kicked an anthill. I mean, it was people going everywhere. I didn't know, what's going on? I had no idea. So I went into City Hall, and they said, wait here, they're going to be back in just a few minutes. Well, in the side door, here came Sherry pushing Alex in her wheelchair. And Sherry came over to me, and I remember she put both of her hands on my shoulders, and she said, you stand right here. She went back over to the wheelchair and unfastened the leg restraints and everything, and Alex stood up. And then she took a step, and then she took another step, and pretty soon she had walked 6 or 8 steps. And when she came to me, I gave her this big hug. You could have heard, you know how busy it gets in City Hall. You could have heard a pin drop in there. And when she made it to me, the place just erupted. And people cheered, and that was
magical memory right there.
I think she's probably now, my goodness, she's in probably her late teens, early 20s, and the last I heard from her, she was still doing very well. So anyway.
Awesome. We had a couple more friends check in.
Hey, who we got here?
Is it Jerry Batten?
Jerry. Hi,
Dean,
Jerry.
Linda, love the video.
Jerry wrote one of the testimonials for my new book.
Oh,
He's a
my
great
goodness.
guy.
And Shannon.
Shannon.
She misses you.
Oh, I love that young lady.
We love you guys. They're watching live, and Linda Haas is sending hearts and kisses. That's awesome. Thanks for being here with us. This is so great. I love this. It's so much fun. So many magical stories, and definitely in the first book. And I remember there's your kitty cat. There's a kitty cat. Hi, kitty.
There's Angel.
Angel helped write the book.
I'm sure she did. Yeah, you
This
probably
is
get
so-
some keys.
This is really kind of funny because I moved my computer downstairs here. I have a little office upstairs, and she would sit on my lap. Probably 90% of the stories have cat hair on. So
She says, "You're telling my stories, Dad.
That's right.
I want to be on camera too."
So, we saved her life. We adopted her. She was at the veterinarian where our other cat went. But anyway, okay, show stealer. Yeah. So
let's go back. Now, what do you feel are the differences in your new and previous book? And tell everybody what motivated you to come up with the second
Well,
chapter.
I think the main thing was, like I said, probably most of the stories were people that I met and all of that. And then, like I said, after that, I had so many people. I said, if these are my stories, one of the things that I think was that I was so privileged to do in the Magic Kingdom and in my career, my 21-year career at Disney, was the amazing people I met and that I worked with. Mm-hmm. And I said, if this kind of stuff is happening to me, I think the main difference, they're all stories like this. Some will, some are they'll bring you tissue. You need a Kleenex, and others will make you maybe laugh out loud. Some of the silly stuff that happened, but most of the stories in the new book are things that experiences from other cast members or guests that I met along the way, and I think that's the main difference. I still tell the story, but I kind of tell, instead of telling my story, I tell their story. Mm-hmm. So that's and there's some amazing stuff, some great people.
There is, and you haven't even begun to touch on the celebrities and the athletes and the people that you met. Oh
my gracious sakes! Well, the easiest way that I can probably just make that real simple. Linda and I will sit down for maybe an evening of TV, and she'll say, and whatever comes on, she'll say, "Hey, he was my Grand Marshal," or "She was my Grand Marshal." And she said, we can hardly get through a night of TV that there isn't somebody on, some of the most recognized faces. The ones I kind of like to mention, I had Roy Disney Jr. was my Grand Marshal before he passed. He shook my hand after that, and he said, "Dean, it's all about the kids, isn't it?" And I said, "Yes, Roy, it's all about if you say so. It's all about the kids."
Kids and kids at heart.
Yeah, that's right. And I hosted Muhammad Ali as my Grand Marshal one day, and I had a really great story about he was just amazing. His presence was awesome. But and Super Bowl quarterbacks, home run hitters.
To this day, on the Super Bowl, they say, "I'm going to Disney World."
That's
or
right.
I'm going
That's
to
right.
Disneyland.
Yeah,
and they would go and see Dean. Can you imagine?
Well, my friend Rose in Pittsburgh, there were even some Pittsburgh Steelers came down, and they flew down to see the Steelers beat those guys.
Wow, just to see the players.
Just to see the players after the play. Yeah, that was crazy. So anyway, but I can give you just a little. There's one story. And I don't know how we're doing for time here, but there's one story that I really must share with you, and I've got one in here that it's really cute, but then I'll get to the other.
I'm glad you're doing that because it's Linda Haas. She's insisting, show the book in big capital letters. She wants to see it. That's it.
There's the new book.
I had to Google it. There's a couple of pictures online, but we're hoping to make it go viral. So
there we go. That would be amazing. Yeah. That would be amazing. Let's see where I find it. This is one of the cutest little notes. One of the cutest little notes I ever got. Was from a family in England, in Birmingham, England. And 4 generations of this family I had selected for Grand Marshals. It was great-grandparents, grandparents, parents, and then the 4th generation was a little girl who was about 5 years old. And I got this note back, and it's just so cute. It said, "Dean, I trust you are well. I have to tell you this story, and it is quite true. our 5-year-old Jordan recently had the following conversation with her nan and granddad, her great-grandparents. Jordan said, "Where does the Queen live?" Nan and granddad answered, "In London." Jordan said, "Where does the Queen of America live?" The answer was, "America has a president, not a queen." Jordan said, "So what is a president?" Well, Nan tried as best she could to explain to a 5-year-old that the president runs the country and tells everybody what to do. So Jordan thought for a moment and replied, "That's what Dean does." And it seems to Jordan that Jordan remembers Dean organizing everyone for the parade, and it made the quite logical connection that they are one and the same job. So in Jordan's eyes, our friend Dean not only runs Disney, but also the USA. Wow, what a man to know. We trust you enjoy this as much as we did. A 5-year-old's view of what was going on there. But I have to say that Krista, we cheated just a little bit, and I told Krista this story before we started rolling, and I hope I get through it because it's pretty autobiographical, and it's mostly about my mom and dad. And it's a chapter in my new book. It's chapter 8. My mother's favorite number in the world was 8. She was born on August the 8th. So 8th month, 8th day, and she passed away when she was 88, just a few weeks after. And she was so proud of the fact that she made it to her 88th birthday. Now, I'll lead in with this first paragraph. In 1878, Walt Disney's father, Elias, had moved from Huron County, Ontario, Canada, to the United States. After seeking gold in California, he settled down to farm with his parents near Ellis, Kansas. Now, I grew up on a farm near Ellis, Kansas, and it's a town of about 1,800 people that's about dead center on Interstate 70 between Kansas City and Denver, about halfway. My father, Clem Gaschler, took over the farm from his parents in August of 1943. 2 years before he and my mother, Dorinda Wassinger, were married. The farm was their life's work. In 1992, my parents sold the family farm and moved to their home in Ellis. Now, Mom loved 2 things about living in town. She could go to Mass every day, and she could keep a standing hair appointment. Now, the little beauty shop that she went to was Libby's Beauty Shop, and I went to high school with Elizabeth Libby and her husband. They married each other and stayed in my hometown all of these years. Now, of course, during my career in the Magic Kingdom, meeting these people and these celebrities and these great stories that I have, I got numerous guest letters. And I would copy these letters and mail them to my mom. She was proud of her children. I'm one of 9 children. And she's so proud of her children. And she loved getting these letters, and she started taking them to the beauty shop. She had the 10 o'clock, I believe it was the 10 o'clock Friday morning standing appointment to get her hair done. And very often, the 9:30 appointment would stay even if her hair was done to see if Mom had a letter for me that week. And the 10:30 would come in early to see. And one day she walked in and said, my mother's name was Dorinda. "Dorinda, did we hear from Walt this week?" I had become Walt in this little beauty shop in Kansas. And Mom's arthritis continued to worsen, and her health was declining, and so the visits to the beauty shop became very difficult and then not possible at all. And it was no problem because Libby would come to the house, to Mom's house, when she became immobile and unable to go get her hair done. And there was always polka music being played in my mom and dad's home. My father had played accordion and polka bands around western Kansas for over 50 years. And on occasion, Libby would leave with one of my dad's incredible tomatoes, several tomatoes from his garden. And she never called it work, she called it mini social events. Well, when my mother passed, like I said, Libby and her husband still live in my hometown, and they came to my mother's wake. And I saw them, and Libby came up to me and said, "Dean, your mother was so proud of you." And I go, "Oh, thanks, Libby, thanks." And she took my arm, and she said, "No, Dean, your mother is very, very bad." Okay, I got it. And I know. She always told me how much she would take a particular letter that I would send to her and tell me how much she loved it. But I didn't really get the full meaning of just how these letters and sharing these letters about Disney, and all the way from Florida to a little beauty shop in West Central Kansas. And after Mother passed, my dad passed, and 10 weeks later, my mother passed away. We were getting my parents' home ready for sale, and my sister was emptying a little cabinet, and she came up to me, and she had an accordion folder, and it had every letter and photo I'd ever sent her. Excuse me. And my sister handed it to me, and it has Dean, Disney World. Every letter neat in the original envelopes, neatly filed, every one of them, my prized possessions. So that I got an idea of how important this really was to her after that. But so
amazing.
So anyway, but on a little bit brighter note, though, before Mom's health got too serious, they came down to. My mother always had a dream. She wanted to see Epcot, and she her arthritis was starting to get the best of her. So she said, I don't think I want a wheelchair. She was a little son. And then she saw the size of Epcot. She said, "Dean, you better get me a wheelchair." Mm-hmm. And we went to Germany, the German pavilion, for lunch. And when the performers come out, some of the girls danced to the polka music, and they were heading toward our table, and I went like that, pointing to my dad. And the young lady did pick my dad to dance a polka with. And she came back and said to my mother, "Your husband is a great dancer." And she said, "Yes, I know. But that's, sorry I spent a little too much time, I hope not, on
Not
but
at
that
all,
was,
no.
that's one of my most personal stories that I have on there. I'm thrilled to share it with everyone.
Love it.
Thank you.
We're thrilled to have you share it with
Thank
us.
you.
Everybody's asking how they can buy the book.
Buy the books. I like that. If you book one, there's two different publishers, two different things. If you book two is it's very easy. Go to Amazon. It's a sort of a different story with either one. Book one is also available on Amazon, or you can just go to my website, Dean Gaschler, Main Street Memories, and you can order directly from me. Like I said, two different publishers and a little different arrangement, and those I'm happy to send you. I'll personalize them and sign them and whatever you want.
Yes. So the first book, everybody can order from you and
Right,
get it personalized.
Directly, yeah, if they like, or through Amazon as well. Yeah,
They're both on Amazon, however, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Go on Amazon.com and search for Dean Gaschler. And
that's the way. There I am.
Yes, yeah, I love it. And then we'll also be putting a blog post up on DisneyWays.com with links for everybody to make it super easy. And we are so excited to announce today that you will be appearing at the Florida Disney Collector Show on Sunday, December 3rd. It's from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can get information about that on facebook.com/Central Florida Disneyana. Or, again, you can go to DisneyWays.com because I've got a whole article up on this. This is going to be at the Fantasy of Flight in Polk City, Florida. $6 for adults. There's going to be speakers, book signings, trivia, 25 and more vendors, pin trading, and so much more. So if you're going to be in town in December, come see Dean at the show, right?
I'll be there.
You can
I'll be
meet him
there.
in person and get your picture taken with them, and it's going to be so much fun. So looking forward to December. But yeah, I think that about does it. I kind of went through all my questions. We just appreciate you so much today sharing with us, Dean. This has been a lot of fun, and we love getting all the live comments.
I love it. It's like I said, it's kind of a unique perspective. I'm probably a lot like maybe the fellas that say drive the monorail or something. I had a very unusual and job and a very in my mind, very special opportunity, and I hope I made the very best of it because I really enjoyed it. I had a great time, but I'm loving retirement too.
Yeah,
I'm loving retirement. Just ask the Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, Lisa Massey's here. She said
Hi,
she
Lisa.
loves your stories. I say, hi, Lisa.
I just saw Lisa a few weeks ago.
And
Yeah.
Linda Bell is here. She said the books are amazing. Ordered on Amazon, and a couple days later it arrived, just like that, like Disney magic. I love it. And who else is here? Megan says amazing stories and memories. Paul Hessen says can't wait to read your book.
Former Dapper Dan.
Oh,
yes.
and Terry Miller, best show ever, Krista. Thank you for sharing. Oh, we love that. We love that. Thank you, Terry.
Wow.
So I guess with that, we will. I don't know if you guys can hear me. There, we'll put the camera back on me. But thank you guys so much for tuning in with us live. And I want to remind you, too, if you are an admin of a Disney group and you feel like the people in your Facebook group would like to see our videos, please reach out to me. I'm looking for some groups to partner with where I can promote the videos. I'll just post in there a couple times a week. But we want to get the word out about what we're doing here. I think it's very special and different and unique. I'm bringing you a native's perspective of Disney World and fantastic interviews with fabulous people like Dean and Linda over there. Hi.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in live, and we'll catch you on Facebook, and be sure to check DisneyWays.com. I'll be reposting the video there as well as on the YouTube channel, and we look forward to keeping in touch with you guys. Have a very, very magical week. Share the video. Thanks so much. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.